You guys have seen this thing before, but however, I'm not really expecting the Raptors to play some really good basketball here down the stretch, and I don't really have my own tank helmet or hard helmet or whatever the case may be, so it is my tank bucket. Obviously, it's a Leaf logo because I don't have my own personal Raptors garbage can, okay? Cut me some slack here, but the Raptors help out Tank Nation, including myself right now, because officially they've been eliminated from play-in contention, I guess you want to call it. And they out there today and they lose 115-96 to the Los Angeles Clippers. I mean, what did you really expect? Kawhi and Paul George both playing. And no Lowry, no Pascal, no Fred, no OG. Did you expect anything else? And Raptor fans, let me give you a little update here. The Raptors have sole possession of the 7th overall pick. If everything goes like this at draft time, the Raptors have the 7th overall pick in the NBA draft. Obviously, you can win the lottery and everything go crazy from there. But right now, it is 7th. They can't get any better than that. It is either 7th or, I guess, a worse pick. But for the odds of this team getting an even worse pick are very slim. The Chicago Bulls are 2 games ahead of the Toronto Raptors. Raptors have 3 games left. And the Raptors play the Bulls next. So, if the Bulls beat the Raptors in their next game, I think it's on what day is today? Tuesday. I think it's squeezing my brain together. I think it's on Thursday. I think it's 2 days from now. Thursday or Friday. If the Bulls win that game, the Raptors have locked up the 7th seed in the NBA draft. Before the draft lottery, of course. But let's break this ball game down, because it wasn't pretty. But there were some all right performances. Good to see players back like Chris Boucher, and good to see some other guys getting some more time. Freddie Gillespie, Jalen Harris getting some extra minutes. Let's talk about this ball game, all right? First quarter, not pretty. 27-19 Clippers after 1 quarter of play. In the second quarter, the offense gets rolling for the Raptors. Problem, you can't play defense. 33-33 after 2 quarters of play at halftime, and you're still down 8 at the break. Not bad, though. Considering the lineup you're firing out there, you're only stuck 8. Not too shabby. In the third quarter, you can't shoot. You only score 19. You give up 25. You're minus 6 in the quarter. You're minus 14 after 3 quarters of play. And you lose the fourth quarter 30-25. And my math probably was awful and all of that. But as I mentioned, this thing is literally squeezing my brain. It ain't big. I have a big melon, but this thing is just going to squeeze my brain tight like crazy. All right? The Raptors lose that fourth quarter 30-25. And they lose this game, like I said, 115-96. Now, my keys to the game, as always. The rebounding. You were minus 14 on the glass. Ugly. How'd you defend the ball? Well, they shot 50% from 3, 34% from the field. They shot 50% from the field, and 34% from three-point range. That's not very good, so the Raptors did an all-right job there. All right, they didn't miss a free throw. They were 100% from the free throw line. That's pretty damn good, if you ask me. Actually, that's amazing. What do you want to talk about? It's perfect. 41% from the field to the Toronto Raptors. Not very good. And only 27% from 3. Ugly! So you can't rebound the ball. You can't shoot the 3. Recipe for disaster. You shoot 84% from the line, which ain't terrible, but again, not good enough in my opinion. All right, let's get to some guys here. Let's talk about some numbers. Khem Birch, who has been just Mr. Consistent, I guess, for the Toronto Raptors since coming over from the Orlando Magic. 13 points, 4 boards, 3 dimes, shot 5 of 7, was 3 of 3 from the free throw line. I love what Khem Birch has been doing for this team. He's really solidified that 5 position where the Raptors have had an absolutely disastrous season at the 5 all year long. So great to see Khem Birch go out there and kind of take the reins of that starting 5 right now. And Chris Boucher, as I mentioned, great to see him back. 16 points, 7 boards, shot 5 of 15, and was 2 of 9 from 3, and had a steal and a block. But overall, it's just great to see him back out there and healthy. I think that's what we can all agree on. It's just good to see Chris Boucher out there today. Gary Trent Jr., look, I love the potential of this kid. 9 points, 4 boards, 1 dime. That's not terrible. It's not great. 3 of 16 from the field and 1 of 7 from 3. I love that he has the confidence to shoot. That's the thing I will say about Gary Trent. I love that he's confident enough to shoot like crazy. But you got to realize that there's other players out there. Now, with no Fred, with no OG, with no Pascal, with no Kyle, I understand why he's taking so many shots, right? And Malachi Flynn, he's been fine. 11 points, 3 boards, 4 dimes, shot 4 of 10 from the field, 3 of 9 from three-point range. And he had 2 steals in a block. Sounds like mini Fred VanVleet, if you ask me, getting a couple steals in a block each and every night. So great job for Malachi Flynn. And then the bench gives you a little something. Actually, did Stanley Johnson start? I think he might have started. Either way, he started or came off the bench. He had 9 points, 2 boards, 3 dimes, shot 3 of 6 from the field, was 1 of 1 from 3-point range. But now let's get to some guys that we love talking about. The youngins. And the guys we haven't seen a lot of over the course of the season. Jalen Harris has been with the team all year. Obviously, was in the G League when they were playing their year. And haven't seen a lot of him since then. But over the last little while, since the Raptors have kind of been down and out of the playoff run, he's been getting some more run. And he looked great today. I like the way he plays out there on the offensive end. 10 points, 3 boards, 4 assists today. Shot 4 of 9 from the field. Was 1 of 3 from 3-point range. And he had 2 steals. So Jalen Harris is kind of putting a little bit in the Raptors' back pocket of, okay, we're not a bad little baller here. I don't know, Raptor fans. I talked about it at the draft. I'm like, look, Malachi Flynn looks like a young Fred VanVleet out there if you watch his play, his highlights. And we're seeing him out there now, and he looks a little bit like a young Fred VanVleet. And Jalen Harris, I said it on the draft night. If you want to go back to that video, I said that he can shoot. There was no doubt in my mind that kid could shoot. And he had 10 today. He's scored double digits a couple games over the last little while. The question was on the defensive end. How's he going to be able to transition into NBA play? You know, is he going to be able to do a really good job? Is he going to be a good defender? Or is he going to be a liability on the perimeter? I don't know how he's going to be as an NBA defender. But all I know is that, and I will say it till the cows come home, if you can shoot and play offense in the NBA, teams will find a way to get you in there. Well, Matt Thomas, look, that guy was not consistent enough to play, and he was abysmal defensively. So all you have to be is mediocre, and you'll get a position if you can shoot. So it's a great job by Jalen Harris. And Freddie Gillespie, getting his couple-year contract a little while ago, has a very good ball game today. 10 points, 7 boards, 1 dime, shot 4 of 6 from the field, had a steal and 3 blocks. But those 3 blocks cannot be overlooked. He met DeMarcus Cousins at the rim and denied the living snot out of him. Another one, I forgot who it was that drove on him, but right down the lane, and he rejected it. Was it Morris? I can't remember who it was. That he met at the rim, got a piece of it. It was Zubats he met at the rim, got the bottom of the ball, but enough to reject it. It was a nice one for Freddie G. He was great tonight. 10.7 boards and 3 blocks. Great job for Fred Gillespie. And DeAndre Bembry, I think he is a little bit too excited on the offensive floor at times, but 10 points, 1 board, a couple dimes, shot 4 of 8 from the field, was 2 of 5 from 3. The 1 3 that I thought he got a little too excited is where he took that deep 3, and it kind of went off the backboard, and it didn't even get close to the rim. It was ugly. But either way, not a bad ball game for DeAndre Bembry. I think he had 3 steals in the game, too. So, again, you got some good performances from guys you haven't seen a lot of this year. Guys like Freddie Gillespie and Jalen Harris, who you know is a part of your, I wouldn't say young core of the future, but young assets that you're going to see more of next season. And before we kind of wrap this game up, guys, with 3 games remaining, it's 3 games left playing in Tampa. Thank you. I think we can all agree we are excited to get out of Tampa and not look back. And I got a question for you Raptor fans before I wrap this thing up. And this is kind of going to be my end of video question for you. Assuming the Raptors play at Scotiabank Arena next year, whether it's with fans or without, or minimal, whatever, how do you think this team does? If they stay the same here, with Pascal, with Fred, with OG, with Kem Birch at the 5, like all this stuff, all these guys that we have here stays the same. What do you think this roster is capable of? With all the craziness they've dealt with this year, the injuries they've dealt with all season, and, you know, all that stuff, I got a gut feeling that if they get back to Toronto, things can change, and this team can get right back in that playoff hunt. But I don't know. The way they were playing in that first half of the year last season, I understand the bubble and all that stuff. And you lost Serge, and you lost Mark, and I get that. And we don't know what the future is for Kyle Lowry. At this point, I'm baffled they didn't trade him. You can go back to the trade video. I said I was happy to have him around, but that was with him actually playing. And we have barely seen him. So at that point, I'm like, why'd you keep him around then? That was just my thought about that. You could have got Duncan Robinson, who'd actually play. But no matter what, it didn't happen, and it's the way it is. But I want to get your guys' thoughts. What, going into next year with this roster, what does this team do? Not talking about who they draft, not talking about any of that nonsense. What does this team look like next year? Are they a playoff team? Are they a rebuilding team, a retooling team? I don't know. I want to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments below. Let me know, all right? So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. I want to take this off my head because it is hurting. It's cutting circulation, I swear. I'm sweating underneath it. I can feel it. Anyways, smack the like button if you guys know this one. Hit the subscribe button if you have not done so already, guys. Twitter is down below for myself. Comment down below. As I mentioned, everything towards this Raptor team. What'd you like? What'd you not like from today's game today? Also, the future expectations of this team going into next season. And your thoughts going into these final 3 games of this season. My thoughts going into it. All right, let's see some good performances and clinch that 7th spot. And after that, hey, I'd like to end off on a winning note. Right at that point, if you clinch that number 7 spot and you can't go up, you can't go down, why not win the rest of your games, right? That's just my thought process. If you lose to Chicago, you play the final 2 games. Let's go out there and play some good ball and win some ball games to end the season. I want to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments below. Let me know what you think and what you thought. All right, Twitter's down below for myself. Follow up, send me a DM, do that great stuff, guys. The Instagram link is down below, so follow up there if you have not done so already. And I will talk to you guys, Jays Edition very shortly as the Jays beat the Atlanta Braves 5-3 today in Atlanta. We'll talk very shortly then. And as for the Leafs, they play tomorrow against Ottawa in Ottawa, 8 p.m. puck drop there. 2 games left for the Leafs. One of those tomorrow against Ottawa in Ottawa. And as for the Toronto Raptors, I think they welcome in the Chicago Bulls. Oh, this thing's hurting my head. I think they welcome in the Chicago Bulls to Emily Arena. If not, it's on the road. They play the Chicago Bulls, bottom line, in a couple days. 3 games remaining, Raptor fans. Just hang in there. A few more to go, and then we can wrap up the year and think about the offseason, think about the draft, all that great stuff, all right? So thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. We'll talk to you guys then.